Hello, everybody. How are you?
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I am
Yep,
Hello,
thrilled
everyone.
about the show today.
I am too. I'm super excited because, as you guys know, my parents are here.
Yes.
So, one thing I want people to know is that when they see these Facebook posts and they think they're going to call my parents and tell on me, they know me already. So, y'all can tell. They just probably be like, yeah, we already know. Anyway, that was a side. That was a side bar. But anyway, how's everybody day going today?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Mother, how is your day going today?
Actually, my day is went really well today.
Okay.
Went to church and came back home and waited for this opportunity right here.
Oh,
Well, welcome. Father, how's your day today?
My day went real well, but I served today too, also just like you,
Oh, you
and
did.
yeah, I served,
So
and
today we had to serve God's people. I call them God's people when I don't feel like being bothered. But anyway, Aaron, how was your day today?
I had a good day. I worked today. And we had to carry big heavy logs to remove them from the road from the storm, and the wildlife was not happy about it.
mm,
Oh,
Oh,
wow. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so messed up.
Yeah, we had to there was wolves and foxes and mosquitoes,
Yeah.
bees
okay.
wow.
Where were you? Where were you? Where were you?
down in Sumter Township.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I would have rather been serving God's people
Yeah,
today.
right.
So, Aaron,
Yes.
Mr. DJ.
I just got to say that I have got, since we have special guests today, I have a special song that I'm going to scratch today. Put that on the turntable. And I'm going to ask
Okay.
you guys a question. Where are we going today?
We're going
We're going
all the
all
way,
the
the
way
way
there.
there. I guess we'll learn what song it is. You ain't think you were gonna be scratching that long, did you?
Where are we going today? All the way there. Let's go. Where are we going today? 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 All the way there.
We're going all the way there today, guys. We would like for you to hit your share button, if you will. So, how is everybody doing?
doing great.
Listen,
Good. Doing great.
I want to introduce my parents because Claude and Doris Graham have been wonderful parents. They were blessed with me. 49 years they brought this awesome person into this earth, and I'm so grateful for it. I also have a sister, two awesome people they brought into this earth who provided these awesome offspring. I don't know, we just can't stop being awesome.
Mm.
So dad and my dad, who was an employee for one of the big three, also a church man who had to be a god, a man of God, as the church would call it, in such a secular place. We want to talk about that today. And then my mom, who was also a vice president of a local credit union. We know that you also have to have integrity in those places as well. And Mike, you started the credit union like when you were like a teenager, right?
Yeah, it was a co-op program in high school. I was 17.
17.
Yeah,
And you just retired when?
2 years ago.
Okay. So she
Yeah.
just retired. Every time she got ready to go, she'd be like, I'm retiring this year. And they'd be like, Doris, here's more money because nobody knows this job like you. But I mean, it's the truth. What happens when you go take experience? People will pay for experience, right?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely.
We have this great subject today because it's so funny how this came about. When Aaron and I were talking about this podcast, we were going to do about fear, facing fears. And then Aaron said, look, we already did a podcast about that. And I'm like, well, so we could come from a different angle. But then I was reading this a part of a chapter to Aaron one night about in my class, and it was about integrity and character. The next day, the very next day, Aaron sent me this podcast to listen to, and they were talking about integrity and character in this podcast. So I'm like, what is the odds of that? And then that morning, I wake up and my post from 12 years ago said that your character and integrity is who you are when nobody is looking. And I'm like, that is confirmation to me. But to top it all off and put the cherry on the top, I went to class that night, and guess what the instructor said?
Wow.
Integrity is who you are when no one is looking. And I was like, oh, she must have read my Facebook post. But she did. That was nothing but God. So here we are talking about
Look at God.
look at God. Look at God. But no, seriously, I feel like that was a confirmation for a time such as this. We are actually living in a time where integrity and character, people, they just don't have it too much anymore, or they have it, but we accept so many things that are not right, and people are okay with it. So I wanted us to talk about that because the society is running kind of high. So, in society is running kind of high. So, Aaron, what are your thoughts about this?
I think that you're right. I think that integrity is a lost art. I think that back in, I want to say, the early days of, like I say, the 50s and 60s, where people, it was an honor to be integrous, and people were willing to fight when someone questioned their integrity. Like, you remember when people would have a duel and you questioned my integrity, and they would slap them with the glove, and then
Yep,
whoever, they would come to a gunfight over integrity. But
they sure
now it's
would.
such a lost art. Nobody cares. It's all about me.
Yep,
And I just think that we ought to get back to that.
definitely. So, before we get to that, we're going to do our icebreaker. And the icebreaker is
Icebreaker is, has there ever been a time when your integrity has come into question? And if it has, how did you resolve it?
uh-oh. How did you resolve it? Nuck if you buck, but that's not what I'm saying.
Mhm.
How did you guys handle it? Tell us about a time that you and mom, did you have a time when your integrity was questioned?
Well, I didn't had a number of times when my integrity was questioned, but it depends on what I say how old I was at the time.
Mhm.
Okay.
As I was younger, it might have been a fight going on
Okay.
when they questioned my integrity. But
Mhm.
as I grew older, I learned to handle my things like that a little different.
Mhm.
To use my words instead of my fists. So as time goes on, you learn, and you learn how to handle things. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it, but just go on about your business
Yeah.
and let
Period.
them and let them go. There's nothing I mean, how are you going to make somebody believe you? You can't make them believe you. And if it's
Exactly.
not hurting you any kind of way, but except they just don't believe you, you
Mhm.
just have to go head on. And then sometimes it's going to hurt you.
Right.
But if you can't prove anything, you can't do anything about it. Your integrity is, I'm not going to go upside his head, or I'm not going to, do something that I'm going to regret later on.
Right.
That's integrity to me, to handle things with a more a sensitive way, a better
Right.
way,
Right.
without handling it in love. That's
Exactly.
Right.
Now y'all see the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah. I'm writing some notes. Don't insult Mr. Graham because he will go upside your head.
Period. And he's got a backup. Period.
That was years ago.
Okay. But he have some offspring who ain't got there yet. So I'm just saying. But Ma, what about you?
Well, I think I'm gonna probably come up with an example of integrity. First of all, I always worked in an office, and the majority of my job was, I was a teller. Then I went into accounting, and then I went into human resources, which I really loved. I loved human resources, but I had a situation one time, and when I was thinking about this question, this is the story that came up to me. And there was a young lady that I worked with, and she was she was like Muslim, and she had started liking this Christian guy, and she started going to Wednesday night Bible studies with him at his church.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that. I knew she liked the guy, but I didn't know she was going over to his church with him. But her family found out. They were staunch Muslims. And so she came in one morning, and I was there. She came in one morning, and she was like, Doris, you gotta help me. My family found out that I was going over, to this church, and they're mad, and so they're gonna call you to ask you about this, and I want you to tell them that I was with you. And so I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there listening to her, and she's bawling. I mean, she's crying. And so then I told her, I said, listen, I can't do that. I said, I am a representative of the Lord Jesus Christ, and I live in a place of integrity and good character. And for your family to call me and ask me that, first of all, I can't tell them that you were with me and you weren't. So I'm just telling you right now. So how this was resolved, I said, I'm just telling you right now, I will not do that.
Right.
And so she was really upset. I mean, she cried and she cried. And so I thought her dad was going to call me, because that's the way the operation of the things go in that religion. But her sister did call me, and I told her sister, I said, listen, you have to talk to her. I said, she's an adult. You talk to her. I don't know anything about her and this guy. I knew she liked the guy, but I didn't know she was going to church with the guy. And so so I told her, I said, you have to take this up with her. Don't call me about this. This doesn't have anything. It's not job related. And so don't call me about this. So anyway, the end result with that is that they really got on her, and they made her starve again. She had to start wearing that.
Aww.
And so, but that was to me a stand that I had to take for what I believed in. I believe that, in the Lord Jesus Christ. And I said, I'm not getting ready to lie. I said, I will never be able to witness to you or anybody else if I was to lie to your family for you. And I'm not doing it. And so that's the way that was resolved.
So Mrs. Graham will throw you under the bus.
With respect.
What about you, Aaron?
Okay, so I told this story before. I was asked by a church to take a church van to another location where they were opening up another church. It was another city. And they sent me with another guy. And that was cool. And then I was given some petty cash to go along for gas money. And so the next day we headed on. We just laughing and joking. We stopped. First time we stopped to get gas, the guy was on the phone. And he says, he didn't say anything to me. He was just talking to the person on the phone. And then he went to the gas station. And then he comes out of the gas station, start pumping gas. And so he gets in the van and says, "Yeah, I know. Yep. No, he didn't give it to me. No, he's standing right here. No, he ain't saying nothing." And I said, "Well, wait a minute. Are you talking about me?" "Yeah, yeah, I'm talking about you." I said, "What are you talking about me about? That petty cash that they gave you." "Yeah, I know I got it. Do you want it?" "Yeah, you know I want it." "No, I don't. You never asked. You just got out of the van and started pumping gas." So I'm
Right.
like, what am I gonna do with this petty cash, man? Me and you in this van together for a few days driving.
Right.
I mean, I'm not trying to steal anything, but you're trying to make it seem like I'm stealing.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Yeah.
burned me up.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
that would have
so
burned me up. Nuckify
so
buck.
the first stop for gas was in Detroit. There was not a single solitary word spoken all the way to that next sit, all the way to our destination. It was just utterly quiet. And the way I handled it was he stopped being my friend because I'd
Yeah.
never expected him to do that to me. Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the last day we were friends, and that was the last day I was friends with the guy on the phone
Mhm.
because they were,
Period.
yeah, they were just like, I mean, why are you sabotaging me, dude? All you gotta do is say, "Hey, man, let me get that money so I can get some gas." Boom, it's yours. I'm not trying to steal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Don't play games with me because
yeah,
I'm not here for any games.
so
You know.
that's when my integrity was called into question, and I was
Mhm.
really ticked off about that.
Mhm.
So I went a little sideways with mine because I knew you guys were going to be telling those stories. But one time I remember I was talking to this one guy, and I remember this other guy. He was feeding me all of these lines like, "Oh, you're so brilliant. You love poetry, and you do all of this stuff." And so I went back to the guy that I was talking to, and I was like, what's something about me? Because this other guy, he was pretending like he knew stuff about me, right, guys? This is game, guys. Listen. Anyway, the guy was like, "Yeah, one thing I could say about you, you're honest, trustworthy. I would trust you with my life." And I got an attitude because I was like, "What? I'm honest. I mean, I like poetry. Don't you know I write? Don't you know I do all of these other things? This other guy said he knew all this stuff about me, and I'm honest." I had an attitude. But when I think about that later in life,
Mhm.
when you get older, that is one of the highest compliments.
Yeah.
Oh, you-
One
yeah.
of the highest. There's several high
Mhm.
ones that a person could give you to say is you're trustworthy.
Yeah.
You're honest. I would trust you with my life. That is a deep
Right.
compliment. And
Yeah.
I was too childish to understand the level of that compliment. So I just that was it. I mean, I look back at that and I'm thankful for it now. May he rest in peace. But that was a huge compliment, and I just threw it out because I wanted to be impressed by other non things that didn't matter.
Mm.
Mhm.
So anyway, here we are, guys. We're gonna head into the topic, and
Keela doesn't recognize compliments when she.
I recognize them now. I'm like my dad. That was when I was younger. I was younger. Okay, so listen, guys. So we know that integrity. What is integrity to you guys?
To me, it's dependability. You're a person you can depend on.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a person that is loyal, that would be loyal to you. An honest person.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
See, a person of good judgment, or a person that will respect you.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What do you say, Mom?
I say that integrity is a high level of ethics. Where they're very very ethical, moral. It's a high
Mm-hmm.
level of moral values,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
and they stick to them no matter what. Even if it comes to, I think somebody said in the beginning, if nobody knows what you're doing,
Yeah. You
you're just going to stick with what you know and believe is the right thing to do,
right.
Mhm.
Even when no
whether
one is
anybody
looking.
is looking or not.
Yeah.
So that's what I think integrity is.
Mm. Miss, what is it, Baraka?
Uh-huh.
Miss Baraka Hatcher said, no shadiness at all. I mean, no shadiness at all. Say what you mean and do what they say.
Mhm.
Reliable and
And
dependable.
dependable.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mm.
What do you say, Aaron?
Um, I think Mr. and Mrs. G nailed it. I mean, there's nothing I can add to those definitions because they were great, but it's nice to have, a friend like that,
Hmm.
to bounce that off of you or bring that out of you.
Right, right.
So, somebody who you thankful for being a friend,
Hmm.
travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true and be a pal and
You're
confidant.
and a confidant.
Yeah. And if
And
you
if
threw
you
a
threw a
party
party,
and invited everyone you knew, you would
you
say,
would
"This
be.
gift would be for me," and the card attached would say,
Thank you for being a friend.
"Boom."
So, the new Oxford American Dictionary describes it as the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness, the state of being whole and undivided.
Mhm.
Undivided, because when it comes to Michigan and Michigan State, I will wear a shirt that says the Great Divide. So I guess I don't have any integrity there. But listen, we're gonna give we're gonna
That was
give
good.
we're gonna give a couple of scenarios of what you guys think are integral situations or not.
Mhm.
Okay. So the first one is this is the first one, guys. We want the people in the comments to chime in too. A person decides that they need to feed their kids. They've been without work, they have no income, and their kids are starving. They decide to go into the grocery store and steal groceries to feed their children. Is this a person of integrity?
I would have to say no, but it is a person of need, and sometimes people make decisions based on need, and they override their integrity or their character in order to get things done, because people go above and beyond, or I shouldn't say above and beyond, but people will do some crazy things
Definitely.
to make sure that their children are fed.
Mhm.
But to answer the question is no, I don't believe it was integrity.
Mhm.
But I believe it was desperation,
Mhm.
and it threw them into a different place.
Mhm.
And when you're being thrown into a different place of desperation, then and they have to flip the coin, and is my integrity gonna sit here or my kid's gonna starve? So
Mhm.
that's the way I
Mhm.
see that one.
Because
Mhm.
I look at it like wrong is wrong,
Right.
and even though it's, they had a need,
A good reason.
Mhm.
a good reason for
Yeah.
doing it, it's still wrong. And I have sympathy for people like that than people just going and stealing and they don't have a reason to steal. I
Right.
mean, they don't have to steal.
Yeah.
But if a
Mhm.
person's stealing to eat and they're hungry, it's
And
still
they-
wrong.
Right.
Mhm.
But I can see that better than I can just see a person just going out stealing and they don't have to steal.
Right.
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 But integrity, it'll stop you from doing a lot of things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It will.
Mhm.
So that's a hard question to me, because
Yeah.
It's hard.
It
It's
is.
hard because I
But
think
it is an answer to it.
those are the people that end up having mercy sometime in the court when you would say, well, this person did this and they didn't get off.
Right.
But I think sometime morally, I think people feel the sympathy, like this was
Yeah.
it was wrong, and that's why you're
Right.
here in court.
Mm.
But we'll show you some mercy because of the reason,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Let
but
me just say this one situation that I had, and I was little, and I was probably about 5, maybe I'm just guessing about 5, and me and my older sister, went to the store, and Kilo, you probably heard the story before, but we went to the store. My mom sent us to the store. I can't recall what it is that we were going to get, And so while she was talking to it was a husband and a wife, the mom and pop stores.
Mhm.
And so she was talking to the guy about whatever it is she was going to get, and I'm standing up front, and I saw this bubble gum and stuff. They used to have their candy like sitting out on a little shelf. Like I still
Mhm.
recall all of this. And so I picked up a bubble gum and put it in my hand. And that woman, the wife, said to me, she said, "If you want that bad, you can have it. Well, you got to steal it." And I always remembered that. I put that gum
Ooh.
back too. That was a life lesson for me.
Right,
I might not
right,
did anything to anybody else, but that was a life lesson to me. And it might have started some paths to building some character issues and
right, right,
some integrous issues in my life. But
right.
I don't know. That just made me think of that.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Baraka says, no, you don't have to steal to feed.
Right.
Too many pantries and people in restaurants that will
Mhm.
be willing to feed you and your kids if you go ask. And
Right.
I do agree with Mrs. Graham. Desperate people do desperate things.
Mhm.
So I will say this because I've been robbed by people who pretended they needed food. I don't even look at them. So I'm a person who will not even look at a person. I mean, God himself will have to say, feed them.
Wow.
I'm
Really?
serious because I mean, I went to go do a what I thought was a Samaritan
Yeah.
noble act, and then I was robbed at gunpoint. So I just am very leery of people who are
Yeah.
begging, So
Mm.
Yeah.
and I'm sure people have their reasons why they don't, but it does happen. So I don't even really look their way. I be at the stoplight, like, what was these people keep holding this sign up? What's this light change?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, that's just something I do have to get over. But yeah, that does happen. But I do get what Baraka's saying. Things are offered, but sometimes people, you know, do what's the closest thing.
Mm.
So what's the next one, Aaron?
The next one is a family played a game of heads up one day, and one side of the family won.
What?
Then those winners would not play again to let the other side win. So did their integrity come? I'm just kidding. That's a private.
Wait, what? Look, I'm on my paper. Like we didn't talk about this.
That was a joke against the
That
Graham.
was the inside joke.
They
We had a
just
family game with Aaron, and he will not let us live it. Well, let my parents live it down.
Because why? Because we won.
and they won't play us again. Okay, number two is a coworker, female coworker. No, a coworker. Well, I can't
I did
read.
shorthand. I did
I
shorthand
see
because I didn't want to write the whole story. Do you want me to do the story?
coworker. Yeah, please.
So a coworker want wants lunch, right? And she calls her husband. Her husband tells her, he's in a meeting. He won't be able to bring her lunch. But another coworker is interested in her, and he's been showing high interest in her for some time now. He's been making huge advances at her. He tells her he will buy her lunch. She accepts the lunch with her knowing that this man is interested in her. Does that compromise her integrity to her marriage?
Mm,
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
mm,
Yeah. I shouldn't say I think so. I know so.
mm.
It
Mm-hmm.
does.
Let's keep that on the screen for a while.
Is Aaron a comedian? He is hilarious. Well, Baraka, I pretty much make up that. So thanks. Well, I'll take credit for that too.
Okay, I'm sorry, I cut you off, sir. Go ahead.
So Baraka says yes to that question. But what did you guys say, Mom?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm,
She is.
And you want us to add
Add
to
to-
that?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, she's married,
Mhm.
and that didn't change because somebody asked her out to lunch.
mhm,
And if she's working with the person, and the person, is always hitting on her, she still should have the integrity to tell this guy no, and not even accept anything from him because he's showing interest in her, and which is going to make it a little bit, a little bit different, I guess, is
Right.
the word that I'm looking for. And yeah, I think that with that question, that person is stepping into some deep water that they don't want to be in.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's the way I look at that.
I look at it, that's another step towards what he's looking for.
Exactly.
You know,
It opens the portal.
you
Right.
you remember that little comic used to come on television, Urkel.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
remember Urkel? He said, "I'm weighing you down, baby."
Right. Exactly.
So and that's what that's doing. He just add a little bit to it, and she opened up the door. Her husband and her get into an argument or something. He slide right on in there. So yeah, you can open up the door to things. You know, so
Yeah, shut them
you
doors.
have to be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Because the snakes are out.
And that's called emotionally cheating.
Right.
And
right.
Emotional cheating is the front porch to actual cheating.
It is. It really is. So, and I don't know, Miss Cooper, I have a friend that spells her name like that. So I don't know if it's Nisi or Nikki, because I have a friend that spell it exactly like you, and she says it's Nikki. So I'm going to say Nisi. I think it's Nisi. But she said yes, and it's manipulative. It is manipulative because you know that it's not what you want, and the guy that is actually saying that he would bring you to lunch. He like my dad said, he knows exactly what it's doing. Just prying that door open just a little bit more, and not even accept his flirting. Absolutely, you have to shut that stuff down.
Yeah. She must have been very hungry, like extremely hungry.
And for more than just lunch, probably. If she said,
no, that would be thirsty.
That's thirsty. Okay.
That wasn't about natural food.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so the next one is a policeman comes up to a house and knocks on the door. The person comes to the door and says, "Yes, officer, may I help you?" And he says, "Hey, I just want you to know that there's some burglars in your area. And we just had one close to here." And the neighbor says, the guy says, "Well, can you tell me where it is?" "No, I can't tell you where it is, Mr. And the cop is trying to find out this person's name. But he started off with a fake story to get this person's name. Now, the cop in his mind is thinking, I'm doing some investigative police work. But is his integrity in question trying to get this information from this person without actually asking for his name?
Yeah, because it's a word. It's a word to that, and it's trickery.
Yeah,
and
it is.
And so for him not to give, especially being a law enforcement person, and those are people that's supposed to be trusted. We're supposed to trust them, and to come up and start off with this vague story, and then then fall into another vague story and trying to gather information. That's trickery.
Yes.
So his integrity is in question.
Now, this it actually happened to me. That's a true story. But it actually happens all the time because police feel like the criminals are trying to trick us. So let us use it against them. So do you think, I know in this scenario, it kind of heightens up his integrity being in question, but in the everyday job, do you think that they shouldn't do that because their integrity is in question?
What were you about to say, Daddy?
Well, I was just thinking, as a police officer, I think he should come straight forward and say what he mean and mean what he say. If he's come to my door and he's coming for a reason, I'm looking for him to say exactly what he want from me and why he's there. Why are you here? Don't beat around the bush.
Right.
I want to know why you here and what's the purpose of it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if he's starting to beat around the bush and saying stuff, trying to get things out of you without you knowing, it sounds like something else is going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Like he's trying to get in.
Right. Like he's trying to get in.
Rob you.
It just sounds funny because looked like he would be straightforward if he's trying to get some information.
Yeah, you're the police officer, and like Mama said, you're the trusted person.
Mm.
So let's not play games. And like the Baraka says, deception.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's deceiving. So
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
Okay.
So a car salesman is pressured by his boss to sell 5 cars in a week. He only reaches his target at 4. But this little old lady comes in and he pressures her to buy a car. She don't need a car. Now, I don't know why she was in a dealership. Maybe she was killing time. But he makes his 5th sale. Do you think his integrity is compromised, or did he just do his job?
Now remember, his job is on the line if you don't make 5 sales in a week.
I think he was doing his job. That's his job to sell. That's what he's there for.
That's what he's there for.
You come in the door, you fair game.
And the sad news is that he probably got those other 4 the same way.
Yes, his job is on the line.
And period. So so the mother comes home and the people are like, you didn't even need a car. But he was just doing his job, in my opinion.
So his integrity is not on the line. Even though he saw this little old lady who didn't need a car, he made it seem like she needed a car. His integrity is intact.
That's his job.
I don't know if his integrity was intact.
Look,
but you know,
that's his job to sell a car.
Right.
He come in there, and I mean, he ain't lying to her, is he?
You saying by hook or by crook?
No, I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying she come in there. Why she come in the dealership?
She said Keela said she didn't know why the lady was in there.
Yeah, well, now when she buy the car, she know that she know then. Buy a car.
Yeah,
because that's why I'm in there to sell a car. So if she come into a dealership, to
dilly-dally, window shop.
As long as I'm not charging her over the price, I'm not sticking her with anything she don't need.
She not pulling off with a lemon.
Right. I'm not giving her a lemon or anything. All I'm doing is trying to sell a car.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
I thought for sure that one was going the other way.
You was just in the crossfire, man.
I think that door on that one swings both ways, though.
Yeah,
I really think do.
So.
Yeah, because you know what? They already have a reputation,
right,
of doing some unethical
stuff, right?
So, yeah.
So because when she come into the dealership, I'm not saying, well, how much money you got? You got enough? I'm not going to ask her, you got enough to buy this car? Let me check your this and
credit.
that. No, I'm not.
You just like, ma'am, your credit is good. You can buy this car. You can pull out on it today. You can pull out with this brand new car today. Thank you, sir. So that's it.
Where's your
I gotta step out. I have to step out for 1 second. Claude is here. My thing is saying my battery is low.
Oh, okay.
On your laptop?
Yeah.
Okay, just plug it up. He did his job at the expense of taking advantage of a senior. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, see, you didn't say that. You said a little old lady coming to a dealership
with a walker, and she can't
say with a walker.
But, some little old ladies got millions of dollars.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what I said, Daddy. I said some of them women got money, so we don't know. Did I not say that last night, Aaron? Mm-hmm. Like some of them women got money. So, Aaron, a man needs money. Go ahead with the next one.
All right. Let me see if I can read Keela's writing. A man needs money.
My writing is legible.
This looks like a man needs nunny. Okay, a man needs money, and he finds $100 at work. He recently finds out that a coworker lost $100. He keeps it and decides that it's a blessing from God. Look at
God.
Then he says, you know what? You lost $100, Mr. Coworker. I'm going to bless you with 20. Is his integrity in question?
Yes, his integrity is in question, no doubt.
But he gave the man $20.
Yeah, but he should have gave him all of his money. I mean,
but are we really sure that this is the $100 that he lost?
Look, look. If he found $100 and he know this man that lost $100, most likely that's that guy's $100.
Right.
Most likely it is. I mean, it don't
Look,
have to
I'll be
be.
like, can you please say the serial number?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so this story started off by saying a man needs money, and he found $100.
Right.
So that makes him kind of grabby when he gets it. But he
So
said,
my
"Ooh, this could be yours. So let me bless you with something."
this is the story really quick in the caption. A man needs money. He finds $100. A coworker goes around the office and say they lost $100. The man keeps the money and decides, look at God. And then the coworker comes. He then gives the coworker $20 and say, I'm just going to be a blessing to you.
He don't have much integrity.
No, yeah, he got some strong character flaws there. Yeah,
See, I find money all the time.
yeah.
And when I was on my doing those lawn services, I was outside. I used to do credit unions, and this lady had dropped her wallet out there. It was over $100 and some in it. I picked it up. I took it back into the credit union, gave it to him and told him to call him. But on the other hand, my brother, when he saw me pick it up, he said, "Man, we got some money. We can split this." And it would have been a time that I would have done that in my life. It was a time when I was young. I would have said, "Look at God."
Right.
But as you grow and as you learn and I got into the word and I learned and I learned some integrity. Integrity is learned. Integrity is learned.
It is. It's a decision.
Yes, because just the average person, if you find something, and they
snooze,
make
you
a mistake
lose.
and give you something, you keep it.
Right.
Snooze, you lose.
The more you learn, the more integrity you gain.
Yeah.
That's just like when a cashier hand you too much change. I always give them back
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
the money because for one, I used to be work with money, and I
Yeah.
know that you can lose your job. So I don't want nobody to lose their job, but I'm always gonna give them back the money.
Yeah.
Aaron, why are you looking like that?
Like what?
You didn't give somebody back the money.
I had a situation at work one time, and this was a little different, and I handled cash shipments, and we get large cash shipments. I'm talking about like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
And so this particular day, I was counting the cash shipment, and as I was counting it, when you first take the money out of the package, you have to count and before you start counting the bills, you got to match up the packs that's in the bag with what was actually shipped to you. So this particular day, this shipment was $5,000 over. So they had sent me $5,000 more in the shipment than I should have had, and it was a pack of 50s. So I knew that this person, or I knew that they didn't have a way of tracking it from the Federal Reserve Bank, because they handle millions of dollars. So I sat there, actually that day, I sat there and looked at that money. But I did call, because I said, I'm not gonna lose my, what I built as far as my lifestyle. I always wanted to live as a person of high character and high integrity. And so I called the Federal Reserve and talked to the young lady that was handling the vault that day. Man, she came over in a squad car and got that money because she knew that she probably was going to lose her job.
Exactly.
Wow.
But I'm talking about the temptation that happens with people when stuff like that.
Even if it's just for a split second, because it's like
just for a split second. I'm sitting there looking at this pack of 50s. It was a pack of 50s, and I'm like, But I made the call and gave it back. I couldn't live with that.
But
myself.
that's a good example of when somebody is not watching you.
Yeah. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Integrity.
Yep.
That was a good
Right.
example.
It is.
Even when I could have walked away with this, nobody would have known.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Listen, Angel was about 5 years old, and we were in Kroger, and she found this stack of money. I mean, not stack, but it was like a couple of 20s folded.
Yeah.
And so she says, "Mom, look at this money." And before I could like really look at it, because I could see that there was a couple of, she takes off to the cashier and she's like, "I found some money." And I want to turn first of all, you give it to your mother first. But then I thought about it and I'm like, okay, I am raising her right because she turned
Yeah.
it in. But
Yeah.
part of me in the car was like, girl, we could have had Benny Hanna tonight.
Oh man.
But she turned the money in. My 5-year-old did good. She was listening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but that
Oh.
still tells you, even though you do the right thing and you know you want to do the right thing, that those thoughts still come to your
Right.
head. And
Definitely.
that's why
Right.
people, you know, in any situation of integrity or good character, it's a choice.
It's a choice.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It
It's a
definitely
choice.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was smaller, when I had a friend named Roosevelt, and Roosevelt was the only child, so he always had money. I never had money. So we would go to the store and he would buy this big thing of candy and he would stuff it in his coat pocket. And we was in wintertime. And I was like, "Hey man, can I have some candy?" "No, you can't handle my candy." I was like, "Dang, that's bold." So I devised this plan. And I was like, "Hey, let's play tag." And so Roosevelt was like, "Yeah, let's play tag." So everybody was after Roosevelt. And so when we tagged him, we hit him real hard so he'll fall, so his candy will fall out. And then we'd get his candy and put it in our pocket. "Come on, you want to be it again? I'll be it again." And we'd chase him and tag him again. His candy fall out. And we take him. When we found out we had enough, we was like, "Yeah, man, I'm finna go in the house, man. I'm tired." And then we go in the house and eat his candy.
What? So y'all would take his candy? Aaron.
Now was that good integrity?
Integrity on his part.
Yeah. On your part?
I think it was revenge. No, no, it was not good integrity, but I wanted some candy. All I
Yeah.
wanted was a piece, and he could have just said, "Here, man, I can have plenty." But
Yeah.
he was so stingy, I just wanted it was
So you just took it.
No, we played tag and he dropped it.
Oh, okay. However, whatever helps you to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Barack, so I know we are winding down, but this one I want to say, and then there's one other possible I want to get in here too.
Okay.
Y'all was paying him back for being stingy. Yeah, they was paying him back for being stingy. So listen, a nurse works for a hospital. She is taking care of a patient who insurance does not cover the medication that they need. And without this medication, she know there's possibility of dying.
Mhm.
She has access to the medication. And she decides to administer the medication to the patient. She doesn't pay for it, but because she could get her hands on it, she gives it to the patient. Does that compromise her integrity?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because her job is not to administer medicine to people like that, without the doctor's awareness. And
Well, she knew that this was something that could help. So she did know that this was something that would help the patient. They just could not afford it on their insurance.
Mm.
But she still
she stole. Yeah.
It wasn't
She's-
hers. It would have been
stole
all right
it.
if she went and bought it and gave it to her.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good one.
Mm.
And then you would probably say, Keela, what if it was your family member that she gave this stole
Right.
this medicine?
That's all I'm saying. Because if
yeah.
it was my mama, girl, risk it all.
Yeah, I'll say it.
It's still compromising her integrity.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even though it was
Okay.
a good cause.
Because if she do that, she'll do something else.
Mm.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Maybe not. You don't want to make her a felon.
Mm.
We done made her a felon on the question, right?
The villain. But one other one, because we do know that integrity, how you handle conflict, um, to the job, but to her oath to save a life. Um,
That's a good one. Yeah, to her. What about her oath to save a life, though?
mm,
Her Hippocratic oath or something?
yeah,
Hippocratic.
that they take.
Yeah.
But the Hippocratic Oath doesn't call for anything illegal.
Right. The still.
And that was illegal
Mm.
to steal
Okay.
the meds.
Okay.
So yeah, she took an oath to save a life, but not that at the expense of breaking the law.
I got
Okay.
it. Okay.
So
Are we
one
gonna do the
last.
mountain?
I feel like I'm going real deep with that.
Are we
Oh,
going what?
that's deep. That's
The
Yeah.
to me,
mountain.
that's really easy. You know, to do
We
good
gonna do what?
things, to,
Right.
to do good things, I mean, it's all right, but not when you break the law to
Not
do
at the
it.
expense of
Right.
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 You know, you breaking the law. That you break the person breaking the law is just breaking the law.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just it. I mean, even if it's good,
Man, choices. It's a decision.
yeah,
Integrity and character is a decision.
It's a
It
Right.
basically is a decision. What did you ask me, Aaron?
Were we doing the one about the mountain? Because we winding down.
If you wanted to do that one, but I did want to do the conflict resolution one too. So maybe we can hurry up and squeeze them in.
Okay, let's do this one real quick. This one, okay. A man and his wife decide to commit suicide together and give the life insurance money to their children. So they go up to the highest mountain that they can find, and they say, at the count of three, we're both gonna jump. 1, 2, 3. The man fakes. The woman jumps, but then the woman pulls out this secret parachute. Which one of them has the least integrity?
I
Equal
don't know
for
if
me.
integrity has a measuring stick on it
they don't have integrity
at all.
Both of them. They got
They
about the same.
They the same. That's why they was made for each other. They had the same idea.
They both was thinking,
Her
yeah,
plan was
y'all,
working better than his.
right?
Oh my
They both,
God.
the Baraka say they both have no integrity, and Nisi say it's wrong.
Yeah. There's no measuring stick on that one. Yeah.
Exactly. So this last one is about conflict resolution with people. So we know that how you do conflict resolution tells a lot about your integrity, because how you handle conflict will tell people all they really need to know about you, in essence, right? So if a person is going back and if they're arguing with somebody or with their mate or somebody, and instead of apologizing, they just automatically just go back to being nice. They don't discuss it. We just sweep this under the rug and forget this happened. Let's just go back to being nice, forget the argument. Is that a person of integrity because of the way that they handle things? It's a little
I don't think
different
so,
of a question.
because integrity also talks about honesty.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you would have to to be honest with the person and at least try to come to some kind of resolution of whatever the argument is about. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say no on that one.
Right.
I
Because
agree.
because when you open up the show, I have jotted down some things and I said them to you. And it talked about dependability, loyalty, honesty, good judgment, and respect. And a lot of things that just said in that person is not doing. They just forgetting about it because good judgment and respect. If you respect somebody, you're gonna talk to them. You're gonna get things done, solved. You know, you're just not gonna just sweep it under the rug because later on
It's
that's
gonna
gonna come back.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Then it happens.
Accountability.
Right.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Baraka says I don't think it has to do with integrity, but no conflict resolution skills. So this is the reason why I think it has to do with integrity, because integrity means to be honest.
Honest.
And so to sweep it under the rug, you aren't being honest about what actually took place.
Right.
In my opinion. Vern
Go ahead.
says,
I'll
I'll
apologize,
apologize, and then
and
I'll
then I'll
talk
talk
about their
about their
mama
mama
behind their
behind their
back.
back after our
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. I'll be talking about your mama too, so you know that goes two
Oh
ways.
man, Vern is hilarious.
So listen, that's I really wanted to talk about that one because accountability, integrity, character, all of those things kind of go together. You
Mhm.
know, when you really think about them in essence, like as a whole.
Yeah.
So in order for you to walk in your character, part of your character is the decisions you make concerning your integrity. And a lot of that comes with taking accountability for the right or the wrong decisions that you decide to make. So
Mhm.
if you do decide to make the wrong decision, accountability. If you
Mhm.
do decide that, okay, listen, this is something that we need to talk about, that's accountability, which I think is parallel to integrity, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Right. Right.
So we're at the 55 mark. I mean, this was actually fun.
I
I
It
think
was
really
so
fun.
too.
enjoyed it. I had a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But you guys got like 30 seconds. What do you want to say to the people?
I'll start. First of all, thank you for for entrusting us with this
Ooh,
topic.
that's
First of
good.
all, and secondly, I think like we said, integrity is a decision, and I believe that people can not only be taught integrity, they can also teach it to their
Mhm.
children and
Mhm.
bring that
Absolutely.
back into the home, bring it into the workplace because people can actually see integrity on a person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
I,
I want to just say this right quick because Nisi says something. She always gives me the flip side of everything I post, which I love. If nothing else, you're not being honest to yourself for sweeping it
Mhm.
under the rug.
Mhm.
right.
And
Yeah,
that's integrity. So what were
right.
you going to say, Dad? Dad.
Oh no, I was just going to say I just agree with what she was saying. I think it's integrity is learned, and
Yeah.
I think you grow in integrity all the time, and you can just as like you grow in it, you can lose it if you
Mhm.
allow yourself to get caught up in certain things and get caught up in worry and all that other stuff like that, or
Mm-hmm.
you can lose your integrity if you just don't stay focused.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna put it on the word of God.
On the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you don't stay
Right.
focused on the word of
Definitely.
God and
Right.
stay and keep your face in God's face, you can easily lose your integrity.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
Period. So
Yeah.
Aaron, take M8.
M8.
Yeah, not M5.
Oh, that was her way of saying be brief. Okay, so
oh,
um I think what everybody said was correct. I think
Mm-hmm.
that when you hear that little voice to do the right thing, that is the voice
Mm-hmm.
of the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And the Bible says that a good name is better than riches.
Right.
Mm.
So, and that's how you get a good
That's
name, by being
facts.
That's right.
integritous,
That is so
being
true.
in having good integrity.
I think that is true. That was a mouthful because I would rather have my name clean
Absolutely.
than to
Absolutely.
have anything else. I mean, that was real. That was
Yeah.
good. So listen, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show and enjoyed my parents because I did. So next week we will have the awesome Kim Brooks on talking about her stage play. Um, he's safe.
Yeah.
He's fine, but is he safe? Okay. And we want you guys to be here for it. And then, right quick, Vern says integrity is learned. It has to be in you. You can have integrity, and then one day, boom, you are being arrested for election tampering.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, thank
Like
you for
this,
that,
like this one
Vern.
guy on TV said, "Boom goes the dynamite."
We can always count on Vern to come in
Yep.
and rib it
Yeah,
on
man.
their home.
That boy is funny.
Guys, we would love for you to come back next week. Hit the share button for us, please. If we don't ask you for any money, but we love for you to hit the share button if
Yes,
you want to be a blessing
but
to
we
us.
will ask you for money.
Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you for rocking. Thank you guys for all chiming in. Have a wonderful week. See you guys later.